guys, welcome back to my channel. It's just Clarice, and today I'm going to be reviewing and swatching for you guys my Colourpop Build Your Own palette. So Colourpop has a bunch of these palettes on their website, as well as a ton of single pressed eyeshadows and other face products like highlighter, bronzer, and blush. And they have this section on their website where you can actually build your own palette. So you choose the style of palette you want, and then you choose all the colors. You can make it all eyeshadows, all face products. Like, they have all these different customizable options for you. And so I decided to make one that had 8 eyeshadows and 4 face products so that I could have something that could give me a full face. So this was my first time actually using their pressed powder formula of their face products, and I have used their pressed powder formulas for their eyeshadows in their palettes, but never their singles before. And I chose all of these colors and shades based off of my personal preferences and what I thought would work best for my skin tone. And essentially, I also wanted to create something that I could get various looks out of. So here is a close-up look of the palette that I created. And there are 2 blushes here, a highlight shade, a bronzer shade. We have 4 mattes along the bottom, as well as 4 more shimmery metallic shades here at the top. And I wanted to show you guys how these products actually performed. So I've already done my base makeup on my face as well as my eyebrows, but I haven't done anything else. I'm going to do all my eyeshadows and my face products with you guys on camera, just so you can see how well these products blend, the pigment, things like that. So without any further ado, let's dive right on into today's video. So first we're going to start out with some swatches, and I'm actually going to tell you guys how they were described on the Colourpop website. I have those written down here, and we're going to see how they compare in person. Now I'm hoping you guys can get a good true to color look at these shades, but you never know with lighting and all that stuff. It could look a little different, but I'm going to do my best to describe how it appears in person. So I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit so you can see the swatches better. I think we should start with the matte shades. So here we go. The very first shade is Hear Me Out, which is described as a matte white peach shade. And I actually really like this shade. It's really nice, just very soft. I would use this shade either as a brow bone highlight or just all over the lid to set down my concealer or my primer. The next shade we have is called Made to Last. This is described on the website as a matte neutral mauve shade. And as you can see, it actually almost looks a little bit more brown in color than like true mauve. It is a very pretty shade, and I would use this either in the crease or maybe even all over the eye if I'm going for a really simple look. Next up we have Facet, and this is described as a matte deep red brown. Woo! That is a beautiful shade. As you can see though, every time I swatch this color, when it tapers out, it looks a little bit funny there. Because see, you can see it starts out really deep and rich, and then it almost gets a little bit like, I don't know, patchy. But I'm telling you, that's just how it swatches. It doesn't look like that on the eye at all. It actually blends out really beautifully. Yes, I can say I have used every single shadow in this pan, and they all do blend out really nicely on the eyes. You shouldn't judge an eyeshadow completely based off of a swatch. Sometimes you can get a good idea of how it's going to perform, but sometimes it'll really surprise you. And then the last matte shadow that we have is called Feathered, and it's described as a matte rich chocolate brown. Pop this one right here. Whoa, look at that shade. That is so pretty. This is really nice as an outer corner shade to really like deepen up a look. And it can also be really nice as a liner on your eyes when you don't want to go like full deep black, but you want like a rich liner. It's just such a pretty shade. I'm obsessed. Let's go in with the metallic shades next. And these shades, so pretty. Oh my gosh. Before I even swatch it, I just want to say these colors, the metallics, are so buttery and soft in their formula, and I love that for a shimmer or a metallic. You know that they're going to apply so smooth and so pigmented on the eye. I just love that. So here's the first metallic shade. It's called Now and Zen, and it is this bright white shade. So it has this gold reflect, and you can actually see it where the light is hitting it. It's actually more gold, and then down here where it's more in the shadow, it's more white. And that is so intense. I popped it into my inner corner thinking it was going to be more of a white gold, and I was very surprised by how like yellow gold it was. So that I will warn you about. When you look at it in the pan, it definitely does look more white. When it hits the light, it is pure yellow gold. It has that kind of duochrome flip, and it does come through really strong. Next up, we have the shade Come and Get It. It is a duochrome rose with a gold flip. This is my favorite shadow in the entire thing. And it's not because like all of the shadows are really beautiful, but I love, 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 love this color. Look at that. That is so, so gorgeous. Again, you can see that gold coming through. But this one, the pink is definitely just as strong. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed with it. It's so, so pretty. It's so smooth. It blends perfectly on the eye. So sometimes you'll put down like a deeper shimmer shade on your eye, and then you put a lighter one to kind of draw the eye to that and give it that little pop. That's what I like it for. I like it for that pop. The next one is called Pinky Promise, and this is described as a metallic wine shade. This shade is also so gorgeous. Wow. Can we just take a moment? I will pop this all over my eye. I absolutely love it. It's another shade that I'm obsessed with. It's probably my second favorite of all the shadows that I picked. And finally, the last metallic shadow that we have is this shade called Night Show. It's described as a metallic yellow bronze. And yes, that is a metallic bronzy gold right there. That shade is so pretty. I have a holiday party I'm going to next week, and I'm actually going to be filming a video for that. So stay tuned for that, but I am thinking of using that color kind of like all over the lid as just like a statement. Alright you guys, so now that we've gotten the swatches out of the way, it's time for the fun part, which is actually playing with the colors here. So first I'm going to start with my eye look, which is why you guys are still zoomed in. And first I'm going to just lay down a concealer to prime my eyelids. So now we have the concealer down. We can go in with our first shadow, that white matte peachy shade. And I'm going to grab a fluffy flatter brush. This is the Morphe M218. I'm just going to pick up that shadow and pop it all over my lid just to set down that concealer. It looks a lot whiter on camera. I guarantee it's not this bright white in person. So next I'm going to go in with that neutral mauve color. I'm just going to run that through my crease just on a pointed pencil brush like this one. I'm just doing little circular motions as I go just to like blend it out. Like I said, it blends out really nicely. We're going to move in and we're going to darken up our outer corner. And I'm going to take that shade Facet, which is the red-brown shade, right here. And I'm going to take a slightly larger pencil blending brush, like this one. And we're just going to tap into that shade, tap off some of the excess, and just sort of press it down in that sort of V shape that we want. And then take it up. I'm just doing like little soft circular motions just to blend out the powder. I'm going in with a lighter hand and then building up the color, because even though these are very pigmented, I think it works better when you build it up rather than just pressing in and pressing in. It makes it easier to blend out, especially with a darker shade. I think that's the way you want to approach it. So we have that down, and now normally I would do my bottom lash line last, but since we already have all of our base makeup down, we might as well go in and do that now. I'm going to take that mauve shade and just run that under my lash line, and just dipping into Facet again. Just this one I'm just going to focus more on the outside of the bottom lash line, connecting it right there. At this point, I am just going to clean up a little bit around the edges, so I'm taking a flat buffer brush, and I'm just going to run that just around the outside And taking a clean blending brush, like this one, I'm just going to blend out the powder there. Just a little bit more, just so we get like a softer gradient. And now we're gonna go in with the shimmer shades, and I love playing with the shimmer shades. Taking a flat brush like this one, and you can already see a little bit of that cranberry color on there. I'm going to dip into that shadow. So this one right here. I'm just going to press this in and make my way towards the inner corner of my eye, but I'm not gonna take it in all the way. Almost doing more of a stamping motion. So we have that down. It's beautiful, it's shimmery, I didn't even need to wet it. So now I'm gonna be going in with the shade Come and Get It, which is that beautiful rose with a gold flip metallic duochrome. But before we do that, I'm actually going to do just a tiny, tiny little cut crease. I'm going to take a tiny little flat brush like this one, and I'm going to take a little bit of that concealer that we used to prime, and I'm just going to carve out the very front, very inner corner, and take it to about, not quite midway, and do a little bit of a triangle there. And then I'm just patting down with my brush to blend out the concealer. So now that we have our cut crease down, we can go in with that beautiful Come and Get It shade. And I'm just going to take this tiny flat shader brush, press into the color, and then I'm going to press it down just over that concealer and blend it into the cranberry shade. So yeah, I'm just going over the part where the two shades meet, and I'm just lightly blending out so that we don't get that harsh line in the center. And then I'm just gonna go back in with Pinky Promise and just re-intensify that color on the outside. And I'm just gonna actually dip back into that matte peachy shade just one more time, just to re-intensify the brow bone highlight. And there we go, that is the eye look that I came up with. I'm not gonna pop Now and Zen into the inner corner as my highlight, just because I find that it veers a little bit too yellow gold for such a pinky look like this. So now, just to finish off the eyes, I guess I'll go in with a mascara. And I will be right back. Just zoomed you guys in for a quick second just so you could see what the look is like with lashes. So now we can move on to the rest of the face. So first I'm gonna go in with my bronzer, and I'm just gonna tap into that Afternoon Delight shade. Now I actually really like this bronzer. I feel like it adds just the right amount of warmth to the face without being overpowering or too dark, and it really does blend out really beautifully. Very pretty, and it matches with my skin tone really well. So if you're somebody who is more light medium to even, I would say, like veering a little bit closer to medium, I think Afternoon Delight would work really well for you as well. Next we're going to go in with blush, and because the eye look is so intense, I'm going to go with something a little more toned down. So we're going to dip into Weirdo, which is that pinky beige shade, and I'm just going to pop it onto this more tapered, smaller blush brush. The blush shades are very powdery, and there is quite a lot of pickup, so just a note of warning. But they are so beautiful. They are nice and pigmented and blend out beautifully on the skin. There we go. Just a nice flush of like pinky something on the cheeks to make us look a little more alive. And lastly, we're gonna go in with that highlight shade, Boy Next Door. It is a very pretty highlight, very flattering for my skin tone. However, it is a little glittery, and I think you can see that. You probably will just see the reflect actually on camera. Yeah, I would definitely say that if you're somebody with a lot of texture, you might want to avoid this highlight because it is quite glittery. Flower gleam and glow, let your power shine, make the clock reverse, bring back what once was mine, once was mine. Alrighty you guys, that is it. That is my full face using the Colourpop Build Your Own palette with all of their pressed powder products. My final thoughts, I really do like these products so much. I think that the blushes are so beautiful. All of the eyeshadows work really well. The mattes blend out beautifully on the eyes. The shimmers are super pigmented and super shimmery and beautiful. You definitely get the reflect in anything that is like duochrome. The only product I have in this palette that I'm not crazy about is the highlight, and that's just because of the glitteriness on the cheeks. And Colourpop is such an affordable brand that it just really makes something like this so worth it. You're not gonna get better for the price. And even with the price point, I would say that some of their products are comparable to more like high-end stuff. So yes, Colourpop Build Your Own Palette, highly recommend, especially their shadows and their blushes. Those are my favorite pressed powder products by them. So you should definitely think about investing some money in that. If you were thinking about it already, just head over to their website. They have so many more colors to play with as well. You will find something that will suit your skin tone. I almost guarantee it. That is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you have used Colourpop products in the past, let me know your thoughts about them in the comments down below. If you would have any other recommendations for me for products by Colourpop, I would be open to hearing them. I've heard really great things about their complexion products, and I've been thinking about getting them, so if you'd be interested in a video about that, let me know down there. Subscribe to see more content from me. I post brand new videos every single Tuesday and Friday, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!